These are the late winter, spring started agrostemma, so you can see how much further behind they are. They're looking really chunky. Hopefully I'll have a bit more space outside under the cold frames and these can go out and start hardening off. But they do need to grow a little bit more first before I plant them, which is just as well, because I haven't got time just at the minute. Late winter started snapdragons, doing really well, so they should need potting on soon. Under here we have got the zinnias, which I'm going to leave with a shade cloth over them again today. Worked really well yesterday. And here are our straw flowers. Again, I'm going to leave them under the shade cloth because they're very delicate. Statice starting to get their true leaves now. This is looking really good, starting to look like phlox now. Tomatoes, they're going to need separating soon. I'll save that for when it's raining next week. I've got some more stocks here that need potting on, and over here we've got the cosmos looking beautiful. Okay, so back to the autumn jump starters. This is the Orlea, that's ready to go out. Stemma and the sweet rocket. Those are my priorities today. There, look at those roots. So I thought you might like to see how we're getting on. Now this time I've got a few self-seeded plants. I've got a couple of foxgloves there. So rather than take them out, I'm just planting around them because I think that will look really smashing. And it'll also be similar to your gardens at home. And we've got to go all the way to the end. Right at the very end, we've got our cornflowers. Then we've got our larkspur. So I'm going to put some more larkspur in and some more of the sweet rocket in to join up in the middle. Well, with a helping hand from Joe, we've managed to get this entire bed planted, fed and watered. And we've got flowers all the way from one end to the other, where you can see the daffodils glowing in the distance. Cheers. Happy Easter. Today it is the turn of the Nigella to go into the garden. Poor things have ended up in 9cm pots. I've had to wait so long, but not to worry. I'm taking advantage of this glorious weather, and once planted, these will romp away. My goodness me, that is a healthy set of roots. Right, let's snuggle them into the ground carefully, and I'll use the soil to support the plant and keep it upright so it can grow strongly. There we go. Hopefully you're happy now. So I'm just planting out the Anemones. You'll notice the plants are a little bit smaller this year than normal. However, the roots are not. The roots are fantastic, and the plants definitely need some more space. The top growth has been slowed down by the cold winter, but now it's warmed up. By giving the plants a bit more space, getting them in the ground, letting the rain and the weather get to them, they will be supercharged into growth and then be as glorious as they always are. There we go, all planted. So here we have our wild carrot, and I'm planting it right next door to the Anemones because they're very good bed partners. They need similar conditions. Again, we haven't got quite as much top growth because of the cold as the Anemones. However, the roots again are very fully formed. So once this is planted into the ground, which is nice and warm, it will take off, and plants always do catch up. That's the beauty of growing outdoors with the weather. Is the weather does even everything out. Well, that's what we found anyway. There we go, all settled in. Oh, that's a sight. Look at that. Autumn sown hardy annuals. Absolutely magnificent. So brilliant, I love it. The all change. Under the cold frames, we now have the Anemones and Ranunculus out here. Got a lot more room in my greenhouse. And the plan is, hopefully, fingers crossed, next weekend it looks like the temperatures are going to start rising quite a bit. So the idea is we'll harden off the Ranunculus and the Anemones and get them planted out in the ground and take advantage of that. For that, however, we are expecting some quite strong winds, so what I've done is I've just dropped everything back underneath the cold frames that's not been planted, just to make sure they don't get swept off the top.